So you want to be making sure that you're connecting businesses with the right services at the end of the day, right? So when you can get that match done, then a business will stay long term.
Welcome to another episode of $4 Million Strategies. Very excited today to have here Behdad Jamshidi. He is of CJAM Marketing. Today we're talking about how to create a high percentage of your revenue to be recurring. B, tell us how to get it done.
Yeah. So this one's pretty easy, but it's not simple. So you want to be making sure that you're connecting businesses with the right services at the end of the day, right? So when you can get that match done, then a business will stay long term. You also need to add in the fact that you need to add customer service on top of it. For example, let's talk about insurance when it comes to your home. That's a pretty solid reoccurring business, right? They check in with you every single year, ask you for your new strata document, and then they will give you the right insurance plans for what you need. You'll stay with them forever as long as they take care of you and you answer the questions. That's an example of a high percentage recurring revenue style business where they get you one time and they have you for years.
That's perfect. That's a great example. Okay, so let's think about this from somebody who doesn't have a traditional product. Let's say they're doing taxes and they're doing an annual tax return. How can you change and help a business like that? Say, how can we help make that to be a recurring revenue model?
Yeah, super simple thing. You can look at building out a community, for example, of business owners that you already work with, throw them into a Slack channel or a community like Circle and say, hey, if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask in these channels. And we have support staff there to answer the questions whenever you want them. Would you pay $100 a month for that? I probably would, right? I got people that ask my tax questions to all the time. I have not seen an accountant firm do this yet. And if you do it, I'd be very impressed.
Love that. I love that example of how to drive towards that. Now, for yourself, this is something that you've done a really good job with. How have you helped create that? How have you make sure that you have created this recurring revenue model so it's successful, it's consistent, and at the same time, your clients are feeling value from it?
Absolutely. So I connect businesses with the right marketing partners. So for me, it's making sure that I'm connecting businesses at the right size and the personality with the right agency at the right size and their personality. And so when you match those two together and set expectations up front with businesses about what they're about to get into and what it takes to take certain marketing channels to grow, that pairing allows for that relationship to last a long time. I have customers that have been using the same agency for over 3 years, right? Because I've made the right match. And it's all about understanding businesses and putting them together. It's like a matchmaking service.
And for those who have hired marketing agencies in the past, that's actually saying something. The reality is a lot of marketing agencies come and go because it's not a match. It's not a consistent thing. So I want to dive in that just for a moment there, just in that specific part, even though it's not directly related to high percentage bar. Personality wise, how do you discern personality match when looking at hiring a vendor, so a supplier, so to speak, whatever you want to call it, versus a need of a customer who's trying to get it done?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So for example, if a business comes to me and they're really data oriented, right? They have spreadsheets, they have things figured out. I'm going to match them with an agency that is data oriented. Probably the founder is either an engineer of some sort or built into processes and showing out dashboards, right? That's one example. Or you have a business that is more creative and strategically thinking, right? But they need someone to help execute. So now you would add an execution agency versus another strategic, high thinking agency, right? You want to be matching the personalities and the business together. And that's just by having enough people in your Rolodex so oh, this business is going to do really well with this agency.
Be great example there. Thank you so much for helping us out today on $4 Million Strategies.
Thanks for having me, Carl.